Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Three Dads and a Console. We know not every dad can stay up to date on the latest and greatest in video game news that you need to know about, so we are here to do it for you. Remember, this show is kid-friendly, so no earmuffs are needed. Now on with the show. I'm one of your hosts, Wabba and Pez, alongside the traveled Court. Hello.
Travel is an understatement when you think about it, because I wasn't here last week because I was in Detroit. And then I just got back from being in Montreal at Ubisoft.
2 questions about the places you went. 1, did you get Detroit-style pizza? And 2, in Montreal, did you get Boston pizza?
Is there such thing as Detroit-style pizza?
They put it in a pan.
No, that's Chicago.
No, that's deep dish. In Detroit, they put it in a pan because they were all like, well, I don't know, what do they do there?
They put it in a pan so you can defend yourself against the muggers that are.
No, it's a real thing. It's these pans because these are the same pans that they use for, like, you know, the auto factories or something. So and then they make pizza in it.
I did not. I'm lactose intolerant. Not many times in my life. Let me go get pizza.
Then why am I asking you about pizza?
I don't know. You asked me. I'm just answering.
The Wabba, a real pizza work over here.
He is a piece of work.
Boom.
Pizza work. Speaking of the Peds, we're also here. I tried.
Hey. You tried and you failed. What's the lesson here, kids? Never try.
What's the name of the ghost behind you?
His name is Hugo. He was our Jimmy Fun ghost this year. Every donation.
That's what you got with Hugo.
Yeah. Someone, the first donor named him.
Oh, good point.
There you
I
go.
would have done that too.
There you go. Easy.
That's what I did with my child.
First donation came in.
First donor named her.
It was Wabba.
First one to start a hype train.
It was Wabba, and that's why her name is legally Little Wabba.
There were some people that actually thought that they were going to name my child. Colby wanted my daughter to be Awana, be Tracer, like that Overwatch meme.
Nice.
And then Buck for a Lap, longtime friend of the stream, donated to name her Buckalina.
Also nice.
So her name is whatever people who paid want it to be. And I don't have to show them her real documents.
That's right. Can't nobody hold you down.
So speaking of not being held down, Court, as we said, has been untethered. He's been
globetrotting, if you will.
He'd been a mirage, so to speak, the past few weeks.
Ooh, that was honestly, it was not bad for the first time in a while. Way to go, Wabba.
That's how you know I do it, when they sincerely give me compliments, because usually I have to pay them for compliments. But Court, tell us.
Everybody wants to know, Wabba's going to get a new mic. So it's gonna sound good.
So that's how you know Court's a good salesman, is he's already putting into the world in public.
Well, no, before it. So I got a new mic, and I said to Wabba, I was like, "Well, I can sell you my old one." And there's a difference between Wabba interested and not interested. When he gets the twinkle in his eye of knowing a good deal, because Pez is like, "Well, it's a good mic," and then Wabba's like, "Oh," and then I was like, I told him the price. He was like, yeah,
I'm in. Real quick, good deal. I bought a calculator for $5 this weekend. It sold within 24 hours for $250.
Was it a TI-83?
TI-83. He's gonna buy the mic off me, never use it, and sell it for double.
Yep.
I would never do. Anytime someone gives me something like that or a good deal on it, I don't sell it, which is why I still have a computer that works. It's not like I took Pez's graphic card and flipped it.
I mean, hey,
to some crypto miner.
If you want to send it to a crypto bro, whatever, man.
It also comes with the shaky thing on it and the other thingy. I've got all the pieces.
It's called a shock mount and
shock mount.
Shock mount and a pop filter.
Pop filter.
But the pop filter doesn't work because my peas be popping, baby.
Pop.
Poppy.
I got Poppy Paw Patrol peas over here.
Everything was. You could hear everything, but you can't anymore, right? Can you hear me clapping?
Yes.
A little bit.
A little bit.
So Court, tell us
the other one. No.
Court, tell us about your Odyssey.
Oh my God! This guy. Did you have any
revelations?
This guy.
What's your origins story?
Oh my God!
So
killing it
a couple weeks ago, I think. No, it was a couple months ago. I got an invitation from Ubisoft to come to an event, and so the event ended up being yesterday in Montreal, and I drove up on Monday with Steve Vigvari and Riley Little. It was a momentous drive into the great city of Montreal.
Can I
Quebec.
ask you a question?
Yeah, we stopped at the Big Apple.
How cool is Steve Avari? Because I follow him on all stuff, and he seems like a pretty cool cat.
Steve Vigvari, the tech with the specs, he actually is a very cool cat. He's a very good guy. He even drove home with me last night. Like in the middle of the night, we drove home. We left Montreal at 5:30, and I was home at midnight. It was a journey yesterday. I met some amazing people. I got to meet a lot of people in person for the first time, which was awesome. But we stopped at the Big Apple. We got our family photo in front of the Big Apple. I got a nice, amazing. If anybody in the Ontario region is listening, if you're driving in between Montreal and Toronto, there's just before Belleville, there's a place called the Big Apple, and they sell apple pies, but they also sell like apple fritters and cinnamon buns. But they sell a blueberry fritter that is like the greatest thing ever. So I got myself a blueberry fritter, and it was glorious. Myself and Riley finished our blueberry fritters before we even got to the car. Like we were leaving, took our first bite, got to the car. Oh, might as well throw that in the garbage because that's just a wrapper. And then I went out with some friends for dinner. I had, thanks to a friend of mine, I had the most amazing hamburger I have ever had.
What? Really?
And I'm not even kidding you. We went to this microbrewery. So Pez, you would have loved that. They had tons of different beers, and they had these truffle fries, and then this hamburger that was just amazing. Like it tasted good. It was, I don't know, man. I don't know how to describe it. It was just phenomenal hamburger. It was called the Royale. It was named after Samuel L. Jackson.
Ooh, the Royale with cheese?
Yeah, pretty much. But it was
Ooh.
like Samuel L. Jackson Royale, like something
Love
like
it.
that. Obviously lactose intolerant, did not get the cheese, but everything else on it, phenomenal. Oh, and then I went to Ubisoft.
This whole
So
like
the next morning
major
we,
studio
More about the
headquarters.
burger. That sounds good.
we went to Ubisoft for the Assassin's Creed launch party, Mirage. So I got to tour the Ubisoft studios. We got to listen to the historian that helped work on the game for Assassin's Creed Mirage, and that actually like blew my mind. When we always play our Assassin's Creed games, we always think, they're they're beyond historically accurate. They get like the smartest people ever to do these things, like professors, to help on with the accuracy, and it was unbelievable. The things he was telling me, it was just, I love Assassin's Creed for the history. So he was just explaining how they do everything to the period. Like he's an expert on that city, and that's why it was so colorful and so bright. So when you do play the game, I guess, yeah, I can. Not everybody's played it. I have. The city of Baghdad looks so colorful and alive, and he had a lot to do with that, and how he would explain to people how this game needed to look and how the world needed to be for Bassam. So kudos to him. He did a phenomenal job. It was awesome, and then I got to tour the studio. So I'm trying to think what I can tell you I saw.
The next
It's
Assassin's Creed
Nothing,
sequel after, right?
nothing
Yeah,
written
no,
on
I
the
didn't see any
whiteboards.
games, anything like that, but we did get to see where they do the not the motion cap, but the face scans. It's
Oh,
like this
cool.
giant globe with like hundreds of cameras on it.
That's
Hundreds
awesome.
of cameras. And they can scan someone into any game, and it takes about, I think he said, about 2 hours to do the full scan.
You just sit there for 2 hours?
No, they take all the pictures to render everything and get it into the game. But
Okay.
they can put anybody's face into a game.
Did they
Did
put
you
your guys?
We
offer?
got to see where they do the sound effects, and they literally use, like, there's chairs there and like metal screens and stuff, because they're literally just recording sounds. They were showing us how they made the sword sounds from Assassin's Creed, which was very, very cool.
That is cool.
Did it blow your mind what they used? Did they use like a breadstick and an orange, and like all of a sudden you get sword sound?
Yeah, well, they didn't do that. They use the actual pieces of metal, but they do, the things they use are not swords.
Yeah.
So it is very cool. They talked about all the initiatives they're doing in the community out in Montreal. Every room, every floor there is named after a different area of Montreal,
Really?
which is very cool. They talked about all the community outreach they're doing. It was amazing. It was our tour guide. This guy was unbelievable, unbelievable. He's also the hype man for the Montreal Canadiens, so he works the
Ooh,
games. Yeah, yeah.
Boo.
ooh.
Well,
Did you leave at that point? Were you like, I'm good?
no, there was no way I was leaving that tour. It was just so cool. There was a wall at one point that just shows all the games that they've made out of that studio, and you
That's
look at that
awesome.
wall and you're like, oh my god, there's like every game I love is right there. Um,
Did you
it
let
was
him
very
know?
very cool.
Did you let
Yes.
him know that you are a son of legend Bobby L?
Yeah, well, I
Good.
did let him know I was a Bruins fan, and he was like, "Well, as long as you're not a Leaf fan." So I was like, "I like this guy."
Let's
He said the same
go!
joke. What, like,
All right, I dig it.
to our Leaf fan listeners, you are the butt of all jokes.
True.
Mhm.
To
We love
everybody
you,
but yourselves.
but you know,
We love you,
you're better than that.
from October to May, we don't like you.
But the reason I was able to go to this is because I have been playing Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Now, talk to us about that.
So
As much as you
Assassin's
can.
Creed Mirage, the rumors are true. It is a return to form. Gone are the RPG mechanics of the number system. You still get the same like icon above, but there is no number there. So there's 3 types of enemies. There's the archer, there's the 4. The man with the spear, guys with the swords, and then heavy weapons.
Hmm.
The heavy weapon, you either can take your throwing knife, which is called a tool, and you can hit him in the foot, or you've got to evade so that you can get behind him and slash. Now you have 2 moves. You can parry in this. So when the attack is yellow, you parry, and when the attack is red, you have to evade because you can't stop it. You're doing way more stealth than we have done in any Assassin's Creed in years. Gone are the days of Valhalla where you can go in and just brawl through everything. You can't do that. You're literally going to have to be meticulous about this. Figure out where you want to go. Send your little bird up into the air. I can never get his name right, so I'm just not even going to do it. And survey the area so that you know your plan of attack, just like we did in like Assassin's Creed 2 and all those older and Brotherhood and so on and so forth. There's more of that hiding in the bushes, hiding in bales of hay to kill people, and using your tools. Your tools become very important. You get a blow dart, you get a noisemaker, you got to unlock these as you progress through the game. And that it's going to take about 25 hours. I am a completionist in this game, so I'm doing everything. Yeah, so it's going to take me about 30 hours, but and that's why my review officially hasn't been done, because I'm not done the game yet. I got it about last week, so I've just been playing it still. But like I was saying, so you have all these different tools, and you do have a skill system. So there are upgrades that you can be doing to Basim, but there's not many. And you can also change them at any point. So you can reset them at any point and move them around. So what I actually was doing at one point when I wasn't fully upgraded yet, when I would get to a certain point, I would survey the area. And then as long as there's no red bar at the top of the screen, you can actually come back out, reset your skills, and set them to ones that you need to go do all these.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Do you need a certain item to do that, or can you just do it on the fly for free?
You can
Like
do
for
it on
free
the
in
fly
game?
for free.
That's so good.
I
As
love
many
that
times
change.
as you want. Now that's
Love
like
it.
a tip that I noticed that I could do. I'm sure there's gonna be like tips and tricks videos that are come out and everybody's gonna tell, but yeah, you can reset your skills at any time. You do have a stamina bar. So if you're just doing, because you have a light attack and a heavy attack, if you're just doing attacks and they block you, you eventually will get tired and you can't swing your sword.
Can you block when you get tired? Is there like a
Nope.
recovery period? That's cool. I like that. That's kind of like I don't play these games, but like a Souls mechanic in my head, like Souls light.
It's definitely easier, way easier than the Souls. Like I played it on easy for sure. There are different difficulty levels. There is 2 graphical levels. There's performance and quality. Performance is 60 frames, 1440p, and then quality is 30 frames, 4K. I was playing on a PlayStation 5. The story, it's all right. Basim, to me, he's from Valhalla. I want to know more to get into it, but I still wish it was just a remake of 2. But I do want more of these. I know there's a lot of discourse on the internet today. Everybody's really talking about, now this game is too short, but before it was too bloated. It's very interesting. It's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. I was in shock when how many people were mad at Skill Up today. I was like, interesting. I like the game, but I also want to throw my bias out there, and you guys know this. I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed games. So to me, this game is a welcome return to this type of game. My hope is that they'll make us these type of games and still give us the RPG ones that are like the 90 to 100 hours. But I can still get this. Every other couple years, I get this little bit of a prologue of some character from Assassin's Creed that they can expand on, that I can go out and do assassin missions, if that makes any sense. Because it's very stealth oriented, and I truly, truly like it. I think the parkour in this is better than in any Assassin's Creed.
Really?
Like better than Unity. Yeah. The parkour part of it is like you can literally the world of the city of Baghdad is so alive and so interactive, and there's not a lot of water, which usually can bog down an Assassin's Creed game. You do have a camel. I barely ever ride it. You can't get a horse. I barely ever use the thing. There are things around the city, but you spend a lot of time in the city. There's pickpocketing. You can do pickpocks. You can go up to people and take their money, and then there's like a little mini game. It's like a diamond that comes up, and you've got to hit it at a certain part to do it. You actually can go into the accessibility options to turn that off and do it auto. Like you can play it for a bit, but after a while you're like, yeah, I'm done with this. So I have turned it to auto, because that's the way you can get trinkets to go sell to get money. And the currency in this system, you don't have a lot, so you have to figure out to do ways. There's contracts you can do, which also reward you with different weapons. There are weapons and chests throughout and upgrades that way, because you can upgrade your weapons, but you're only upgrading them 3 tiers. There's no numbers on them, like I said, so it's just 3 tiers. Each weapon, as they've done in previous Assassin's Creed games now, has different perks. Some will have like, not, I haven't seen one that has fire, but there's one with poison, or it has stronger melee, or it'll give you more stealth. People don't notice you, or you have silent feet, all that kind of stuff. And then there's the costumes, as always with the Assassin's Creed games. But so far, so good. It looks beautiful.
I got 2 questions from hearing you talk about your experience. One, and this was one of my concerns, so it's good that you played this. Is this? It sounds very similar to Assassin's Creed 1, not just in terms of like kind of return to form, but also setting. And when I initially saw the setting, my fear was that this is very similar. Is there enough to differentiate between one and this for someone to get back into it, or is there like a lot of overlap?
It's very samey, but it is. If you go back to 1 right now, you're gonna realize 1 is old game is old. It's the only one I think in the Assassin's Creed series that you can go back to and go, oof.
Yeah.
It feels very old. I will laugh at this. The jumping off walls for no reason and jumping off buildings for no reason is back, baby.
Oh,
yeah.
It's rather funny that came back into the fray, where like you're just trying to parkour to one other side, because that's the old Assassin's Creeds, right? And Valhalla kind of took that away because you're not doing much climbing. Well, you're climbing again. You got to go up to the top of Synchronize, and you got to figure out the puzzle to get to the top there. But every now and then, your guy just jumps out of nowhere and just jumps off buildings. So yay, that's back.
Yep, it is truly an Assassin's Creed throwback when you're randomly jumping off of.
There's even buildings that there's no wall there, and you can just run up, but you can't go anywhere. Just he tries to in midair and then comes back down.
Let me ask Core about. Sorry, Wabba. Let me ask. Any strange monetizations? We do know
Not
how
a
Ubisoft
single one
loves to monetize these games. Really?
Not a single one. There's nothing. There is nothing even to buy. You can get the deluxe editions and all the different editions of the game. And remember, this is not a full price game. This is a $70 game in Canada, so I think that makes it a $55 or $50 game in the United States. So, they're giving you 30 hours, a bang for your buck. There's a bang for your buck in Wabba. The platinum is very obtainable.
Well then, I'm on it.
Yeah.
No, it does sound good, because the one thing I played Odyssey because I like Greek history, but I didn't play Valhalla. These games are too big, and even Odyssey I felt was too big. I was on paternity leave, and that's the only reason I played it. So when they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do bite-sized things because that's what you want," it's like, great, love it.
For people that are listening, if you're in the PlayStation, you have PlayStation Extra. Valhalla's there to play. I believe it's also on Game Pass, but
Not
A
saying
lot
it's
of
not a
these,
good game. I don't want to play like.
Valhalla's a good
the,
game. I'm
but
telling you
the
right now.
size, the time commitment scares me from
But
these
it's long.
games.
Yeah,
Really?
it's big and bloated. It's 80, 90 hours.
Yeah, no, it was. Remember, I think my playthrough was 101 just to finish the story.
Yeah.
That's more than I played Persona, and that's like a JRPG. Like,
How much
and
you play
I know
NHL?
completionist though. I think, and let's not get into NHL
That's
numbers.
Korea, okay?
Yeah.
Settle
Is it
down.
though?
Another question I had. So one of the things I loved that Ubisoft Assassin's Creed used to do was multiplayer. They had such a gem with multiplayer in Assassin's Creed 2 and the story kind of behind it, like the Abstergo. And then in Assassin's Creed 3, they did a great job with that as well. But then they just kind of stopped. Is there any mention of it? Whether that or did it come up in the Q&A? I'm assuming there was that you're able to share.
No, there was no mention of it, and it did not come up in the Q&A. I
So
wish
did
it did.
care or
I'm
did
a
they
big
not?
fan of it. I even wish, because now they're called the Order, who you fight, and now we're called the Hidden Ones instead of the Assassins, because we haven't got there, right? This is the beginning of the Assassins. I want the Templars back. I want all the old school. I would love a multiplayer Assassin's Creed. It wasn't even mentioned in their roadmap when they did that big Assassin's Creed blowout. So no, unfortunately, they did not mention anything to do with multiplayer.
And for the folks who are listening, when I say multiplayer, it was like a mini mode where like you would basically hide from people.
It was amazing,
and you could like cloak yourself. Like it was basically like hide and seek. There are other games that have done this, like iterations of it.
It was, what's it called? What's that one with the little
It was like Prop Hunt.
the one that when you murder people and you got to figure out who the killer is.
Oh,
You know
Among
what I'm
Us.
talking about? What?
Among Us.
Among Us.
In a sense,
technically
it
that.
was.
It
I would say
is.
a combination between that and like a prop hunt, because
Yeah,
there are some people that you can hide and you can only evade and like do like a smoke bomb to get away.
I forgot to mention there are kind of like detective missions in this where you have to figure out things and so on and so forth and move things. And I will say there is a follow mission.
Oh,
One.
Alex.
Yeah.
At least there's one. There's only one. But man,
Everybody gets one.
escort missions, whew, the worst.
No, it's
Escort.
the follow. This is not escort. This is follow.
Oh, it's even worse. Stay in the crowd and follow Billy Bungus.
Watch him pick up some bread
Yeah.
for his
Watch him,
family.
yeah, watch him yell at some lady, smack some kid. You just gotta stay in the back and wait and wait. And if you go a millimeter out of the circle, start over.
Yeah. Ugh.
Pretty-
But it
pretty
sounds like
much.
overall, not just the game is right up your alley, but also the experience was really, really cool.
I really like the game. I'm really liking it. I'm not going to be anything like, oh, this is game of the year. I'm not
Mhm.
going there. That's not what this is. But this was one of my most highly anticipated games this year, and I wasn't let down by it. I'm
Awesome.
still
Love it.
enjoying it. I'm still playing it. Like I was playing it when we were right before the show, people. I was playing this game.
He was. He was.
It's feels good to be back in an Assassin's Creed game. Also, the Division got a huge update, and I'm going to be jumping back into that. Just saying.
Watch
Huge
out,
update.
nerds! Court's
out.
back on the patrol.
Hey, can I throw one thing at the two of you randomly? Court mentioned that people were upset about the 20 to 25 hour main story. And the other day I was reading that people were upset Spider-Man, the main story can be finished in 30 hours. Number one, what do you guys think about that?
I'll let you go first, Wabba.
What? That a story short?
No, does the story length matter for your
About
price you're paying for a
the
game?
discourse
No.
around the length of games.
No, my game of the year right now is 6 to 8 hours. Like, if you can make an impactful experience, like one, it's worth the money, and two, it shouldn't matter how long it takes you to get there. I just talked about Odyssey. I loved the setting, but I hated how long it was. And I was just kind of bored by the end where I didn't even care about the payoff at the end. So I'd rather a small, make the game as long as you need to. Don't make it longer. Like, some games feel like they have to appease, whoever. Like, just tell the story you need to tell, and however long that takes, I think that's perfect. And in the case of Spider-Man, if you got more Spider-Man, guess what it would be? Probably more of the same dumb, repetitive missions going from place to place to place, and you're gonna be like, oh man, this is getting boring.
Don't describe a game as dumb.
No, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying the game is dumb. I'm just saying
Loves Persona, and he's like trashing Spider-Man.
That Persona's got story,
Mm,
but
it doesn't.
I'm not saying Spider-Man doesn't. I'm just saying, like, I know there are like those, the different missions in Spider-Man. Imagine if that was just filler instead of like being able to like enhance the
I agree.
experience. That's what I mean. So I'd rather have less of that to make sure that you can tell the story in the appropriate amount of time. So again, I'm not saying
100%
Spider-Man
there
dumb.
with
That's
you.
just
I'm right there with you, Wabba. Like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I love the game and I really love the story, but I could do without 20 hours of the story.
Mhm.
And I don't think it should matter of the length of a game. It's like the Order 1886 all over again. That game was amazing. I'm sorry.
love that
I'll say it.
game.
I love that game.
I've actually never
It was
played.
fun.
You know what? It
Set
doesn't
aside an
matter.
afternoon.
Sony did it with Miles Morales, and now Ubisoft's doing it with Assassin's Creed Mirage. They're not asking you for full price for this game. So stop complaining about everything
And the thing
just
is-
enjoy things.
No,
If you
first
want to
off,
complain, go ahead. If that's your thing and that's how you get engagement, and like, you know, because you know you get way more flies with you don't get more flies with honey. I know that's the saying you do, but you definitely
You
get more
don't.
flies with a pile of poop. Okay, let's
True.
be honest here, or a dead body. That's where you're
True.
getting the flies from. So I'm just saying, people can be like that. We're not going to be like that. So I don't care.
Mhm.
If they want to complain about things, go
it's
right
just-
ahead.
It's so frustrating. The
We're technically complaining
Guys will
about them
complain
complaining.
about them though. Don't worry.
No. Yeah, I will complain about them because it's frustrating that gamers are always like, "Oh, Assassin's Creed is too long. There's too much bloat." And then they get put out a 20-hour Assassin's Creed. People are like, "Oh, it's not 90 hours." Or they put out a 30-hour Spider-Man. They're like, "Oh, it's not. It's too short." And then not every game needs to be 80-hour Baldur's Gate, you know? A 10-hour, you can get more out of a 10-hour $30 indie game than you could potentially out of a 60-hour, you know, whatever, 90-hour game. And people are complaining about Spider-Man. Honestly, Spider-Man 1, there were a lot of like bloaty type stuff in that game where I felt like I just didn't want to do the side missions at some point, you know? So it's like, it's all up to the gamer, but like, stop complaining that games are too long. And then when they put out shorter games, complain they're too short. And if you're one of those dorks that are like, I spent $60, I need to get at least 60 hours, so I'm paying $1 an hour to play a game. Take your Xbox or your PlayStation or your Switch, throw it in the microwave because you do not deserve to play
Throw it in the
video
microwave.
games.
Don't break the microwave. What the microwave ever do to you?
Fine, throw
Here's
it out
the
the window. Donate it to Wabba Plays Thrift Store Official.
Jesus,
ad.
that's a real thing, people.
Hashtag ad. Let me an example of that. So you guys aren't weebs degenerates, but like One Piece just came out with a Netflix series. It's amazing. I've known about One Piece for a while. I'm a big anime fan. I just present.
Is he the Straw Hat guy?
Yeah. So
Nailed it.
The actual anime is, if you watched it for 3 weeks nonstop, 24 hours a day, you would finish. I think I don't even know if you would be done. It's too much. It's over 1,000. I don't have that kind of time in my life. I'm not gonna do it. My brother-in-law tries to get me. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. They came out with like what, an 8-episode. They're an hour and a half, and they're good. And I'm loving it. I'm kind of upset I didn't get into it when I had more time to watch, but I can't watch the actual show. Enjoy, but they're telling the story that needs to be told in the time that they need. It's digestible. It's great. So if you're worried about that, guess what? Don't watch new One Piece. Go back and watch every episode with the filler. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Report back to me in 2 months when you finish watching it.
Double
nonstop.
dog dairy?
Wabba
Yeah.
Plays most important question: dub or sub?
Oh my god! Imagine watching dub in 2023 if you have any respect for yourself.
True.
There's
Had to-
okay. I
just
will
had
say
to
this.
put the
while-
baseline on the table.
It's disgusting, but I will say this: there's only one anime I will watch dubbed, and it's any Persona anime because the voice acting cast is so good.
That's true.
Other than that, it's just it's too good, and that's anything else. Like when I found out Troy Baker was in a Full Metal Alchemist, I was like, Nani?
We just took
Guido.
on a wild ride.
Dude,
Is this-
No, I stopped
what you
listening.
know
Is
about
this
Guido.
Guido?
Marvel
Turn my
vs.
PlayStation
Capcom
on.
2? Because we took Cord on a ride. Gonna take you for a ride.
I am gonna play Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty next, though. I'm getting into some
Ooh.
Cyberpunk.
I
I'm
still haven't
excited.
played the base game.
No, I've got to play the base game. I got to finish it first.
Oh, gotcha.
It's gonna be some time.
Depending on what you folks think, I might get back into it. It was a
I'm
game I
still
really wanted to
playing-
like, but
I'm still playing Baldur's Gate, and officially, NHL 24 has come out on for all you early access EA creators and people that like to slap down a hundo US Americano. Or if you're a smart person like me and you have Game Pass Ultimate, you have EA Play, so you can play 10 hours of the full game right now. But our very own Wabba Plays has had the sticks, as they like to say. Wabba, talk to me about NHL 24 and your thoughts. Quick first impressions, because I know it's only been a bit.
So I've played a lot in the past 24 hours. First off, thank you to the EA Creator Network for hooking me up with the X Factor edition. So I was able to get in exactly when everybody else could. I didn't get the game early, but I spent a good amount of time with it. First thing,
people that got it early couldn't play it because the servers weren't live.
Oh, they weren't.
That's true.
Get wrecked. Oof. Initial thoughts. So I've only really been playing the Hut mode. I haven't played Ishal. Be a Pro has not changed. I haven't played Franchise, but I've heard that there is a lot of negative reaction about Franchise. For example, Tugi, who I love his Franchise content, Suzuki was doing better numbers than McDavid.
I saw that.
McDavid went from 60 goal season to a 30 goal season.
End of the season, he had like 85 points in 82 games or something like that.
It makes no sense. The sim engine is wrecked. So I'm gonna hold off on Franchise until there's an update. But Hut, initial thoughts. I like the layout. I think the new objectives are good. So what used to be, they have different objectives for power-up icons and X factors. So there's actually something to strive for, not just get 5 hits, get whatever. The single-player content, which a lot of people are playing right now, squad battles wasn't changed. That's still boring. Hut Moments is cool. They give you an opportunity to play offline content to get like things to help you get started, like an icon player or an X Factor player, which are some of the strongest cards in the game. I will say my main concern about that mode is when I do all that and there's nothing else to do in that single player mode, is that just it? Or are they going to create more engaging offline content throughout the year? We don't know because it's technically negative 2 days before launch, worldwide launch. And again, my concern is they didn't add much to the actual mode. Like, yeah, there's new cards, you get to build a new team, and again, I'm having fun. Disclaimer. But once I'm done with this offline content, I have squad battles, I have rivals, I have Hut champs. It's literally the same game loop that there was last year, and it's a game loop a lot of people got bored with early on. How are you going to keep people engaged? Like, are you keeping the limited content schedule? They've been so good with communication. I feel like they haven't been good with this. We don't know. But other than that, I'm enjoying my time with it so far. They took away my control scheme, hybrid, for scrubs, which was button pressing. I like the new total control. I'm getting used to it.
You love the body checking, don't you?
I do. The checking actually feels like you're hitting.
Get wrecked hybrid controls.
Yeah, right?
I watched that live when Wabba was like, oh my god, I put him through a wall.
Well, someone told me, he's like, hey, did you try hitting circle? Knock someone into the bench? It was great. I also did a Michigan with Dowdy, which blew my mind. The fact that you can like do that is kind of neat. And yeah, it's just I'm waiting for launch. I'm gonna be flipping, shocker. I like that. I like the buying selling side of things. But yeah, again, my concern is, are you going to create a loop that's gonna keep like the normal person coming back? Because there are so many good games coming out. You need to make it interesting to vie for people's time.
How was the matchups like when you're going in to play a game? Do you waiting for a lot of people?
I haven't yet done it, but I've been watching a lot of streams just because I don't want to do online things until like my team's a little beefier. But people who aren't really playing rivals sometimes, especially during the day. Like there are some creators that are just like, I can't find a game, so I'm doing.
I think a lot of people didn't want to pay that $110 for the game here.
It's a lot. I
can't believe it's that much.
It's a lot for a game. So I've been playing on the.
You gotta remember the Canada's their audience, right?
I've been playing on the EA Play trial, and I am just a Chell player. Hut bores me, and I'm working myself away from card collecting modes because I think I burnt myself out in MLB The Show 22, which was worth it because it was great, and then they ruined it in 23. We'll talk about that in the spring. Chell is having the same problem. I try to jump into threes, and it takes like 2-3 minutes to find a game, and I just jump out, and I'm like, I'm wasting my time trying to play this game.
And that's with crossplay.
Yeah, and that
it is. You're right.
I'm wasting my time trying to play my 10 hours in Chell because I can't find a match. So that's been the biggest kind of frustration that I've come across. The control scheme is great. When you hip check someone and you watch them go over you, it is like, mwah, chef's kiss. It is great. The animations are great. I like the pressure system. I think the animated boards look pretty cool. But I don't know if I'm going to spend. The real question is this worth a $70 upgrade from 23? And I'm not sure that it is. Because here's
can
the
you
thing.
put the name Minuteman in the game?
I did the Minutemen, so we'll see how long it lasts.
Because if you're not a hot player, right? Nothing has seemingly changed.
Be a pro is the same.
If you're just a franchise player, play 23 and play franchise, right? Like franchise has barely changed and it's broken. Be a pro has not changed. So they made changes to the under the hood, which is good, which they should do because it needed it. But is it worth $70 American or 100 Canadian? Probably not, right? At least to me.
109.
That's crazy. The
that's a lot.
gameplay is good though. Like, so some of the big complaints I will say is the team had such a big, I would say, challenge.
And it's a new team, by the way.
It is, and they're great. The communication's been excellent. But I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of things that weren't good in 23, and I can say that their name filter certainly isn't. The Minutemen, Jesus Christ, hey, get a Ubisoft to send him over Historian. They can learn a little bit about revolutionary history from AC3.
Ooh.
But so spicy about that. But
horrible game.
They changed. You can't self sauce anymore, which was super toxic way people were getting the puck up quick. Glitch wrappings. There's some exploitation a little bit to get short side, but the AI is always going to cover the post. And for what I mean is people were taking the puck from around the back, and you could go across a goalie's face. And you could like always score, or you could do a quick wrap. So you would like tuck it right to the closest corner.
The short side.
And there's AI defenders there now, so you can still get around it, but it's a little more challenging. And like that's like really good. Also too, if you just rag the puck, which you keep it in your zone and wait for time to run out. So last year they gave you like a movement penalty. This year it's a delay game penalty. So
Which
you actually lose a person.
I love.
It's so good because what would happen is someone would go up against someone better. This happened a lot to me, believe it or not. I'm good at the game.
Yep.
I can confidently say I'm better at the game than people. Not everyone, clearly, but and then I would just lose because they were like, "Oh, I'm just gonna run around in circles." And a shocker, I can't play defense. Like oh no,
we know.
That's why I score so much. But now they can't do that, and they're gonna get a penalty. And I'm gonna get an advantage. I think that's really good. That's excellent changes. They did changes to the sets. My biggest complaints in the past 2 years is I can't get the good cards. Oh, just pull them. I'm not going to spend money on it. But to get Gretzky or Lemieux, I opened like 10 packs that could maybe have them in it or cards that I needed to upgrade, and I didn't get. It's so demoralizing. Like, it's one of those things I'm like, why am I doing this? Now, there are paths to churn cards in to get players. And again, there's a whole like exchange system.
I watched the video on it today. It
pathway
seems
there.
like that's so much easier to get what cards you want.
I will say this, you need a lot of in-game like cards to do that, but there's a pathway, and that's really encouraging. Can you go in all the different directions? No, you might have to be very selective with what you choose to do, but you can get Gretzky, you can get Lemieux. The only thing stopping you is the way you manage your resources.
I'm getting Gretzky. It's happening.
So the people who just do trade-ins for your gold cards and you're like, Pikachu face, oh, why can't I get them? Because you have to be good at managing your resources, and that's a part of it that I really enjoy because I feel like that's something I'm strong in.
I smell a YouTube video, people.
Maybe. I think they really improved the sets because
the spreadsheets are gonna go crazy this year.
Dude, I did so much math last year for Team of the Year, and people are like, "What are you doing, nerd?" I'm like, "Dude, I built 6 with no money. Get wrecked." And it's just fun. Like, so, again, that part I think they did a great job with like the resource management, but the modes is lacking at this point in time, and that's what you need. They did not add anything. What are you doing? But you can always add a new mode. But my God, there's no comp season. You had that 2 years ago. And for Christ's sake, can I get an AI generated player face in the game for franchise? So I'm not looking at Billy Bungus's empty mugshot, John Doe.
Wait. They did add something that we didn't talk about. Yeah. A $10 battle pass.
Okay. I haven't even looked over there.
Don't forget.
Tell them about it.
I mean, there's nothing to say. They added a $10 premium battle pass, a season battle pass. So it'll be season 1 battle pass, $10. Season 2 battle pass, $10. Battle pass. And it's all cosmetic, which for the premium one. So it's like, why bother? But you want your Bruins Centennial jersey. If it's on there, you'll pay your $10 to get it. But yeah, so $70 sports games now adding paid battle passes. MLB The Show. I mean, not MLB The Show. NBA 2K. And EA, NHL. I'm not sure about FC because I don't play it. Madden doesn't have it yet, but I'm sure next year it'll come now. And MLB The Show doesn't have it yet. But I'm saying yet because guess what? They're gonna.
UFC has an XP system where everything you do goes into a bar, and that's how you unlock cosmetics. Let us do that. After a game, you get some arbitrary amount of coins based on some weird calculation nobody knows. The hell's fan appreciation? I still don't know 5 years later. But like, let that gain XP to unlock.
Do you get fan appreciation, or do they boo you way too much?
I have no fans, and at least no one who appreciates
have you seen
me
Twitch
on
chat?
Twitch. My Twitch chat is so
egregious.
I know, it's unreal.
All the swords are leading the charge.
The swords are leading. No,
the mods are the worst. But I know I'm coming up with a lot of criticism, and it's only been a day, so it's like, oh, what do you know? But like, I will say this: there's a lot of things I think they didn't have time to tackle. But I recognize that there are a lot of good things that they did. The gameplay is better. And last year, I would say nothing was better. It was either the same or worse. There are some things in the exchange house, like I noticed, like just like minor things, like the auction house doesn't work correctly sometimes. Like you bid on a player and you get a little icon that shows someone outbid you. If someone outbids you, it doesn't return your coins right away. And also too, when you exit a menu, like instead of going back to the search, it goes actually back to the main menu. It's some weird stuff, but like overall, I think they did good.
Cool.
Chill. I feel very passionate about it because I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's perfectly
You
fine.
should. That's hey, dude. Vent away, because you know what? We're gonna be talking about this game a lot.
Yeah,
I'm hoping to get it on Friday. We'll see.
And you know what?
I hope so.
Wabba sounds very high on it. But speaking of a rainbow high,
woo,
daughter.
Wow, she is. Yes, my daughter has been playing
Rainbow High.
Rainbow High from our friends over at Era Games. Thank you for providing me a code, and she's been playing it since we got the code. But she does play a lot with me because. One, this is the first one where she's doing a very good job of being able to read what's going on the screen. It does have full voice acting, so you're able to hear what they have to say, but there is telling you what you need to do. So say you go into a classroom and it says you need to go read this book and grab this, and then you got to make a dress out of everything. You get an idea book, and then you got to get the two things to make the dress or make the outfit, sorry. Come on, get it right, Court. She does have to read the corner of the screen. She's doing a great job at that. She is asking for help. She does have a gripe, though, about the game.
Oh,
there's no menu. A map, sorry. There's no map. So
Terrible.
It'll tell you to go to such and such. It'll say, go to the art class, which is in the main hall. Okay. Like, there's no arrow map. There's nothing to tell you where that is. You just got to go. What'll happen is you'll go to use a door that you've opened before, and it'll say that door doesn't open. So it like stops you from going the wrong way. But there is no actual map button to go check out the school and see where everything is. She loves the fact that she gets all her favorite characters from Rainbow High. I don't know their names, but she actually, so I did ask her before we were recording tonight, I said, what is your opinion on this game? She's like, my friends are jealous that I'm playing it.
Ooh, let's go. Envy.
Yes. So that is her feedback. She tells all her friends at school. I know one of her friends for their birthday is asking for the game on Switch. So there you go. All right. Kids are asking for the game because my daughter is making them jealous that she gets to play the game. She's having a lot of fun with it. There's replayability. She's finishing this first before she even gets into Paw Patrol World. She wants to finish it. She has told me that she goes, Daddy, I'm getting the platinum. So I've made a little platinum, a platinum person who wants platinums.
Very proud of that.
She's having a lot of fun. From my perspective, I love the fact that it's fully voice acted. So she's able to get stuff out of it and they're talking back in the screen. So she's not having to read along on other games. I do agree with her on the map as I'm watching it. I do play it with her. I have no clue what I'm doing. There are mini games that you get to play throughout You get to do you get to sew things and so on and so forth. She loves it. She thinks this is the greatest thing. For me, I'm like, it's very simplistic, but Outright does a good job of being able to, through the tutorials, to show you what you need to do. So it does feel a little samey for me, but she doesn't notice because you're pretty much just going from classroom to classroom and hallway to hallway. And there's not a lot for me. I don't notice a lot of differentiators between the rooms or the classrooms or the mini games, but she thinks it's great. It has a lot to do. I don't know the toys, the dolls that well. And, my daughter does have them, like for the birthday party she went to. One of the kids asked for Rainbow High doll. So I don't know, man. The kid loves it. That's all that's all that matters with this one. The daughter loves Rainbow High.
I love that you said that her friends are jealous because my daughter and her like two friends from daycare went to see the Paw Patrol movie together, and she got to say like, "Oh yeah, we played the Paw Patrol game." So it's funny like how kids like they get it, and not that they're bragging, they're excited to share that with other people, and like it just shows like Outright like it gets it. Yeah, and I know we've talked about before like things they got coming up. Like, dude, it's like they're
the last game that she was like this with was My Little Pony, where she was just like, I'm playing this game. And she is playing this game. Like she got home from school today, and I took the day off because I was extremely tired from my drive yesterday. And I was playing Assassin's Creed, and she's like, can I play? And we have I'm lucky enough to have 2 different PlayStations, but the one downstairs I haven't loaded anything on. She's like, can I play the game? I'm like, yeah, you can play the game. You can take my spot. All right, I'll go figure something I can do. I do have to clean, but she plays about, I would say, a half an hour every day, and she enjoys her time with it. Perfect. They did a good job. The only thing I say, she wanted me to let everybody know it needs a map. That's her feedback.
That's great feedback. She's starting early on the review process.
So if you got a little girl in your house, this is the perfect game for them. They'll thoroughly enjoy it.
Awesome.
So last week we also Pez, you had a big event that we wanted to share more about.
Yeah,
you had Corrado alluded to it earlier. The little ghost boy. So
Friday, first off, congratulations to the Three Dads team. Wabba Plays, Hike Shadow, Endless Days, Ride or Die, and myself for beating our goal of raising $3,000 for the Jimmy Fund. Friday was my annual Jimmy Fund big streamaganza event that we have going on. I would like to say to everyone, we raised on Friday $3,000 for the Jimmy Fund. So for those that don't know, the Jimmy Fund is the fundraising arm of the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. I have a very personal connection to that. If you want to listen to that, please go check out our episode last week. But I raised $3,000. We streamed until 3 a.m. So we streamed for 18 hours. At about 1 a.m., I was ready to go to bed. I was super ready to crash, but we powered through, and it was an incredible stream. We had a great time. Hugo the Ghost got has a bunch of names on him. We gave away some awesome raffle prizes. So thank you to the Boston Bruins and the Worcester Red Sox and Xbox for hooking us up with some stuff. We gave out Xbox codes.
Excuse me, you dropped something. There's a bunch of names on the floor.
They're all right there. So we gave out Xbox codes, Nintendo Switch family, Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pass family codes, a 3-month cookie subscription to Top Shelf Cookies, signed Worcester Red Sox baseball, a signed Pavel Zacha, your #1 Boston Bruins center puck. Allegedly. Some Steam games, a bunch of stuff. And if I may say, thanks to the Jimmy Fund, one of my donors won one of the HyperX things.
Let's go.
Because he texted me, was like, is this real? And I said, yeah, baby, that's real. I said, so pick out what you want. So thank you, the Jimmy Fund, for hooking us up with anyone who donated during the campaign was able to basically put in a raffle for some sweet HyperX gear. So thank you all that donated either to my stream or the stream of the other guys. They worked just as hard. And, it's not all about what I did. It's more about what we did because we all had a mission. So it takes a lot. And I'm proud of the team, and I'm looking forward to putting stuff together for next year.
we had a few like one of the other initiatives. Pez had 2 bars. One was his, and one was our team, which got filled in pretty quick. But it was again with our partners from Outright Games that every $250 for the first 1,000, they would donate games directly to the game. Like they have game stations, and they were going to give codes to put games on. Then so when kids were there for treatment or for stays, they would have something fun to distract them. And I think we were able to complete. I think we got the first one, and then Pez, when you started, it was like within 18 minutes. I think we filled the rest of the 3.
Yep.
And so Outright gave us the games. We passed it along to the folks at the Jimmy Fund, and they're like super appreciative. And I know they're going to be putting out, I think, a post about it too, about like our experience and things like that. And it's just really cool to see like some of the different partners that we have.
Yeah.
We've all worked with Outright for a while. Jimmy Fund, we've been Pez and I been close with for the past 2 years, but like how we can kind of, I don't know, have them all work together in some way through us. That was just kind of like really cool to see. Everyone that we work with is like really cool. So when we tell you like, hey, these people do a good job, or like this brand or this company, like it's not just like we have a reason for it, and they're all very good and cool to us. So
it was great.
It was really neat to see.
It was a great month for the Quest to Defy Cancer 2. Overall, the whole campaign raised $11,000.
The goal was 10,000.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it was even less than that.
Were you number 1 again?
Yep, number 1. I was number 1
with the
second.
bullet.
And you know what? You know what the awesome thing is? So last year I was number 1 with about 1,900. This year, I raised 3,000. Second place raised like 2,200.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So they're recruiting some great streamers who are doing great things, and I was really excited. I was like super happy. If I lost, like if I wouldn't care because someone raised 2,000. Like that's a great number. So it was it was a lot of fun. I'll be doing it again next year. We'll be doing the exact same thing, go until 3 a.m. or whatever. It was Saturday was a nightmare day. I was useless. I went to soccer and that was it. Sunday I was fine, but about Sunday night I started to get like a migraine, I think from the headphones because I was wearing them for 18 straight hours. So I tried to back was fine. Back was fine.
Because he was up and down putting names in the bins and writing on the ghost and glizzy hot dogs and a unicorn onesie.
Oh my god,
dude, how bad was your breath?
Oh, it's probably horrible. For those that don't know,
because it was like I came in, so I was at a cottage and I was up in the Muskokas and I turn it on and it's early in the morning and Pez is drinking a hot dog.
Drinking milk through a hot dog.
Dude, it was so rancid. And then
and so his wife walks in the room, and so I started trying to talk to her, and so Pez was talking for me, and it was disgusting.
So I did 2 glizzy straws that day. The first one was at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and
yeah, it was early, dude.
And you know what? It was either like 10:30 probably, and I told people, I said, hey, if you want to do it right now, I said we get to, I think it was like 1,000 or whatever. I said, if we get there, it was $80 away. I said, I'll do it right now. So then someone did it. So I did it. And then I said, if someone donates within the net, by the time this milk is gone, I'll drink the whole thing. And someone then donated money and I drank all the hot dog milk water.
Throw up.
No, dude, iron stomach, dog. Come on now. I haven't thrown up since the chili incident of 2015. We'll go into that.
What happened there?
The wife made chili and it didn't agree with us. I yacked it up. It was probably like 2010. And I was screaming at her that she ruined my streak. I was like on a Cal Ripken Iron Man streak and she ruined it. But yeah, so we did 2 glizzy straws. I was in the unicorn onesie till midnight. So the unicorn onesie wasn't even a donation thing. It's just one of my channel points. So I just
How
wore
did that smell?
Probably pretty bad. It's in the guest room right now.
You haven't cleaned it yet?
No,
you're gonna need it.
We haven't done laundry yet. We usually will do laundry over the weekend, but we were too busy this weekend. No laundry was done.
You're gonna have to get a delouser for that.
I'm just gonna have to throw it.
Onesie.
I'm gonna have to throw it in the fire and just watch the spirits rise up for being.
I'm about to find that at Savers for $15.99.
Wabba's gonna sell that on eBay and be like,
Wabba's
as a sweat.
Wob is gonna say, you know what? This was worn by a professional fundraiser.
That's true. It'll bring you luck.
So yeah, we had a great time. I'm getting ready to do it again next year. It was great, and I'm really proud of the Three Dads team because we killed it. We crushed it. We crushed our goal.
Sorry, I'm just exhausted. I'm not.
No, it's okay. And big shout out to the community too. Obviously, like we're not raising, like we're doing this stuff. Like Pez is the one who's hanging out for 18 hours, but it's the community that's really like helping make that happen. I know. Remember you said you were like, if we raise 0, I'm going to like what 9 to 9, and look how far you went. It's because people came out, showed up, supported.
It was great.
Did a good stuff. My email I get because me and you created the team. Every time someone donated, I would get an email, and I like it was like from Dana Farber, and it was like a 43 next to it.
Yeah,
I was getting emails at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, yep.
And it's good to see. And during that time, like Hike Shadows was going. It was good. It was fun.
It was a great event.
So, we're almost at the end. Any final thoughts for the folks from people?
It's Thanksgiving this weekend in Canada, so it's a holiday. So I don't know.
Happy Thanksgiving, Canada.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Give tanks, as the Irish would say.
Give thanks.
Yeah. That's how this.
So I'm gonna have a house full of people, and it's gonna suck.
Oh, it's gonna be awful. It's gonna be awful. I'm sorry, Court.
Oh, that's why you always go to like as an away team.
No, I'm going. My parents are doing Thanksgiving, and we're just ordering Chinese, which is gonna be great.
Bobby L knows what's up.
Bobby L.
Yeah, it's so smart. It's so smart.
Oh, what a legend Bobby L is.
So smart. It's the way to go. Hey, I want to ask you guys: does Heinen make the team or not?
Yes.
He got scratched tonight.
I think he's making it.
Yes,
I think
he's
they'll
beautiful.
give Maddie Patois 9 games.
Is that his name?
Or does Portreas take his spot?
Oh, Portreas. That's
I like calling him
I thought it was
Patois.
Patois. I thought it was Patois, and I didn't want him on the team.
It's Portreas.
Yeah.
Okay, I can handle that.
But I think they'll give him 9 games and then send him to the big O.
Peace.
Not after that last game though. 2 goals.
I say you give him 9 games to see if he can actually hang with like the big.
If he hangs, he stays.
Like a real
And
NHL team. If he
I
can, keep him and then send Heino either to Providence.
Heinen did play last game, and he's not playing this game.
Yeah,
I don't think
he's
he's making this team.
I liked it. I have a soft spot for Dan Heinen. I don't know why.
Yeah, he's good.
But yeah,
he's
Matt,
gritty.
If
He's got the intangibles.
19-year-old Matty Patois can play, keep him. Keep him.
They just need to get rid of Forbert.
One of the worst contracts.
I will say, man can eat pucks. Doesn't need to be making 3.
Nope.
For that.
But hey, what are you gonna do? This year doesn't matter. It's all about the $30 million in cap space for next year off season.
Dude, they could have hired me for half of what he does.
You can't. You can't skate.
I wouldn't even stand in front of a puck. I just hang on the boards. Oh, no, puck
they give you a little black and gold milk crate, but they would charge you for
I'll
it.
get more goals than Lucci too.
The Bruins would charge you $200 for the black and gold milk crate because they nickel and dime you their fans until you're dead.
Not getting anything for free.
No.
Good question, Court. Yeah. So more to come on that. When's the season starts next Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
My hope is that
Bruins Blackhawks, right?
That's the second game.
That's the second.
Oh, that's Chicago's game too. And my hope is that Bedard's first goal happens during that for no reason in particular.
I hope Bedard friggin' lights it up. So the over under, I actually placed a bet this year on Bodog at one point was he was not going to get
advice.
This is
yeah. So originally it was at 40. It was at 30 goals when they before preseason. I was all in on that, so I dropped some on plus, and now it's at 50.
I think you're gonna make those ducats.
I think kid's getting 40 something goals, 90 something points.
Line this man's pocket with toonies, my friend, because he's getting at least.
Oh, dude, the payout's like 350 something. The payout's 350. It's nice.
What helps that nobody else on the team knows how to shoot. So
I
How
don't think
dare you speak ill of Taylor Hall like that?
Ananathuya, I can never say it properly. How do you say it?
And Athanasio. Athanasio, or it's Athanasio.
It's pronounced.
I feel like I'm Wabba when I can't say this, but it doesn't matter. The guy that gets traded all the time, but and he's got Taylor Hall on the other side. I think the kid will be fine.
And he's got the stud Nick Foligno.
I don't think it matters. He's that good.
I mean,
Yep, I agree.
I'm very excited to watch him play. I just wish it was in
Wabba
a
is going to
different
spend
uniform.
this whole year trying to get his rookie card. That's what's happening.
I'm buying at least one hobby box.
Why does
And,
that mean more rookies are in it?
It means like, yeah, it's
This will be the hottest one since McDavid, the hottest year of Upper Decks.
So,
Series
Badad
2.
Young Gun.
I just I just saw
No,
Flop.
he'll be in Wabba. He'll be in Series 1.
No, he's in Series 2. I just saw the checklist. He hasn't played a game yet, so he's not in Series 1. You get players like Wolf, Askarov, the kid from Nashville. There's like 3 good goalies. There's Luke Hughes, which is a good one in Series 1, but he's going to be in Series 2 because he hasn't played an NHL game. That's from Flopfish, who I trust implicitly with my card advice. But yeah, Series 2, I'm going to put some orders in.
You're gonna put some dollars in that? Some eBay money on that?
Yeah, that's gonna be after my vacation, which I'll talk about next week. But I'm gonna treat yourself. Why not?
Oh, I also tried D's Nuts from Mr. Beast.
You tried
Excuse
Mr.
me?
Beast's nuts?
Yeah, D's Nuts. It's
Oh.
very good chocolate bar.
Is it? I heard that
Yeah.
his chocolate bars are pretty bad. So I'm glad you
No,
gave it a good-
as a chocolate connoisseur who doesn't like
A
milk chocolate,
chocolatier,
I
if
like
you
the fact because milk chocolate is absolute trash.
True.
It's not real chocolate. It's manufactured chocolate. Dark chocolate or his actually tastes pretty chocolate. Like it tastes good. It's got a little good milk bitter to it. I like it.
I saw that he was asking on Twitter for his fans if they see a Feastables display that's kind of messy to clean it. So people are going.
So I
ripping
don't
them
know what it
apart.
is, and this is a real thing. Every time I go, if the box is unopened, if the box is opened of his chocolate bars, someone goes around and breaks them all. It makes no sense. All the other chocolate bars there aren't broken. His are always broken.
I have a final thought regarding Mr. Beast. The first YouTuber to have sponsored
That's right.
professional sports merch. Feastables or whatever it is has a patch on the jersey of the Charlotte Hornets.
That's amazing.
Official team
That's kinda
sponsor.
cool.
That's amazing.
Same color scheme too, right? Because he's teal. Isn't the Hornets still teal?
They sure are.
I guarantee that's the only reason why I picked
And
them.
over under on one of us getting the brand new Bruins jerseys this year.
I'm gonna be buying my wife one.
My wife.
My wife.
She
And with
wants
that,
She wants the black one.
we'll see you next
home
week.
jersey.
Yeah, all right. Wabba, send us off. Court's struggling over there.
How about-
honestly falling asleep?
You ain't riding, you ain't bumping like I'm bumping, you ain't saying nothing, homie, you ain't fresh as a miss. The great Lil Bow Wow. Thank you.
Okay, bye.